Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everybody and welcome to the graduation ceremony of Weber High School class of 2021. Sure, it's great to see everybody here. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Dafiq Firdausy, and of course, it is my pleasure to have the chance to warmly welcome all of you and be the host on this beautiful morning right here at our school home. Now, let me welcome the Honorable Principal, Mrs. Netherlin, all of our great teachers, and of course, parents or all the beloved family of every graduate here this morning. Today, we're gonna celebrate the graduation of 300 students. It seems hard to believe that the time of the class of 2021 at the school has come to an end. Sure, it has been wonderful years to spend the time to study here and be a part of Weber High School. To all of the ladies and gentlemen seated in front of me today, is the day when we got to celebrate each of your achievement and successes with us here at Weber High School. And before we start the ceremony, it is my pleasure to invite our principal to deliver her speech. Please welcome Mrs. Netherlin.
Class of 2020, you made it. I am humbled to have the privilege of being your high school principal. It has been the biggest honor of my career, and quite honestly, the most challenging one. You were our mission, and tonight, mission is accomplished. You are all now Llano High School graduates. While I'm delivering this speech in an unorthodox fashion, and our time together ended too soon, too abruptly, I am so thankful for the opportunity to address you one last time. I saw the spunk in this group from the very first class meeting with me 4 years ago in this auditorium. I asked each class what I should know about their class, and your response, we are the worst class. We retire people. All I knew is that you were one of Llano's largest. In that first class meeting, I told you to look at this stage. You will be here before you know it. And man, am I thankful that you can still walk across this stage. I told you that statistically, not everyone in that room at that time would make it. I asked you if you were willing to put in the work. I don't know how you answered that question to yourself so many years ago, but here you are, and that tells me that you can accomplish any goal that you set forth. Over the years, I began to see your class for who you are, a group of kids who are so very, very different from each other. And I adore you, not because that you have had the most school spirit, or because you've been the easiest to get across this stage, but because you are uniquely perfect representatives of Llano, the town that raised you, a wonderful town that I have come to know and love. I see Llano, Texas, in its entirety embodied in each of your strengths. In my first few days, I saw one of your class members with a fishing pole in his backpack at lunch, ready to go fishing at the river right after school. Llano loves to fish and hunt, and I have heard some great fishing stories. Just haven't quite caught any of the fish that I've heard stories about. We have our beautiful 4-H kids who compete around the state and national levels. Llano is full of great people who cherish the lessons learned through raising animals and working hard. We have our athletes that will continue to compete beyond their time here at LHS. Llano loves sports, and most certainly competition. We have our FCCLA leaders who have done more community service with this group of kids than I have seen done in education in 20 years. They represent the kind hearts of the community of Llano, Texas. Our artists are so talented. They represent the culture of arts that Llano has continuously embraced. We have so many talented musicians in this group that personify the musicians that our community has produced over the years. We have our academians that represent the doctors and lawyers and bankers and engineers and judges that made their start here. And lastly, we have our fighters, the group of kids that are just relentless. From Justin Yoakum battling it out in dodgeball freshman year with the upperclassmen, to Grace Fletcher, who called me at 5:30 in the morning while her home was flooding her sophomore year. She was instantly moving to action with her family in crisis, and I will never forget the anxious and fearful sound of her voice in that call. The class of 2020 has had to overcome so much loss, from the loss of your senior year, to the loss of a classmate, to the loss of homes by flood and fire, to the loss of parents and loved ones. While scarred from all this loss, you are strengthened by the fight that you need to survive in this world. And our world, especially now, needs a whole lot more of Lano. It needs you. You are ready. You are survivors. I asked my daughter what I should say to you in this crazy time in our world. She said, tell them what they have accomplished, tell them how you feel about them, that we are all in this together, and that we're all going to be okay. Llano High School class of 2020, your class has helped us be a U.S. News Best High School, a top district, achieved record AP, ACT, SAT scores that are above the national and global levels. We advanced in sports with gold balls and district championships. We brought home ones in band. We earned workforce certifications and won numerous UIL academic medals, FCCLA national accolades and officers, base medals, and more. Although you may think that you started out as the worst class, you have ended up one incredibly high-achieving class. And while earlier this spring, I said no to your choice for class on Parker McCollum's Hell of a Year, I can honestly say I might have to change my mind on that one. It seems very fitting. Llano High School class of 2020, we are all in this together. We will be okay. And if nobody has told you lately, I sure love you.
Thank you for the insightful speech. Now, I know for sure you don't want to be waiting, and I know you guys are excited for the next part. So, may I call our principal, Mrs. Netherlin, and the vice principal back on stage to give our graduates to the diplomas. To close our today's event, may I call on one of our graduates to give a brief of closing address. May I invite Mr. Chase Dahl to come to the stage.
You know, I've never understood how imagining the audience naked was supposed to make you less nervous. Honestly, I'm just uncomfortable right now, especially with Mr. Wardle. Okay, to ensure clear communication with this social media generation, hashtags and pop culture references will be used. Hashtag you're welcome. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is an exciting day. Today I'm going to give you a speech. Now, graduates, I don't know if you know me, but I'm Chase. We went to high school together. That was good times. Follow me on Twitter. And I want to give a big congratulations to everyone, including myself, for being here today. The world that we live in is plagued with dangers. Ebola, ISIS, global warming, facial acne, and despite all the odds, we still managed to graduate. So let's give us a big round of applause. It was only 3 years ago that we came to the labyrinth known as Weber High. As young, timid sophomores, we found ourselves lost in its halls like they were the changing staircases of Hogwarts. We danced to lyrics we did not understand in the song Gangnam Style. We said YOLO and cray cray as if we were supposed to. Thank goodness we have Yeet now. We anticipated our cataclysmic doom at the end of 2012. And back then, Weber High School had no windows. Oh wait, it still doesn't. Oh, I know, it was a cliche joke, but it was still necessary. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. Though nervous as sophomores, we started getting a hang of things, and junior year, for many of us, brought experience. And for many more of us, it meant stage 1 senioritis. And now, here we are, done with high school. As Charles Dickens put it, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. But now we are through with the stressful days of AP and ACT testing. We've raised tens of thousands of dollars for quarters and cans and inhaled hundreds of pounds of baby powder during football. We have survived WHS screenshots. And last but not least, we have realized that we are the most attractive class ever. As our student body president, Micah Meyer, has observed, quote, "One might say we've aged well." And now as seniors listening to me deliver this brilliant graduation speech, we are through, afflicted and overwhelmed with senioritis. Now, at the end of our careers as students, we have an opportunity. Now's our time to take on the world and to find and pursue our passions, to quote-unquote leave a legacy. William Shakespeare and also Channing Tatum once said, "Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them." In life, we can't always count on being born great or having greatness thrust upon us, but always remember that the opportunity to achieve greatness is within our grasp. Keep in mind that many of our social and political leaders and heroes started their lives as an average person, as just one of you and me. Despite the failures and mistakes we will make, and although we may be average, we find that the average can achieve greatness, whether recognized by the world or just a few. Greatness comes from our friends reaching out to us, those who go out of their way to be thoughtful, the unsung heroes. If there's anything you take from today, remember that to leave a legacy and to achieve greatness is not to get money and recognition, it's to leave those with whom you cross paths with a little more happiness and hope. Our time here together as a senior class will not be remembered by grades, popularity, likes, or favorites, but by our relationships. The kind of person you were. These are legacies, the kind we must leave. Class of 2015, it's been a hashtag splendid 3 years with you. And from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the very, very, very best. Thank you.
What a way to close the ceremony. Thank you, Mr. Dahl. So, the closing hour has finally arrived. Tomorrow, new challenges and opportunities await our graduates that will further test their mettle as improving individuals. As they continue with their life, may they look back to the stage with fondness and pride. Congratulations, graduates. You are now automatically a member of Weber High School alumni. Thank you everybody for coming to this event. I hope you guys come home safe. Have a good day. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.